Hi guys, it's Dana. We are back with Christmas in July with our next project. And our next project is going to be this cute little golden book journal. We're going to make it into a journal. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this stuff aside. Oh, I wanted to show you guys first before we begin on that. I mentioned in a video or two ago that I needed to coffee dye. Look at this. I tried a new process that I'm super excited about because I have a lot of pain. I used to coffee dye in my kitchen. I even have a coffee dyeing video on my channel where I showed you guys how I coffee dyed. Well, my pain has increasingly got worse and I cannot over the years coffee dye like I used to. It's just a lot of standing and bending over in the oven, taking things in and out of the oven, and it's painful for me. And so I tub dyed these, and I, for the first time, did not dip my papers. I actually brushed on coffee with a paintbrush onto my papers, and oh my gosh, you guys, they turned out so good. Look at this. They turned out so good with so little pain on my part. It is so, look at this grungy one. Isn't that pretty? If you guys are interested in knowing how I did that, just let me know. But I have tons of coffee dye paper, and you know I've been complaining on my channel for quite a while that I've been out for months. And so a lot of the journals that I've been working on, I already had the signatures together, so I had the papers in them already, but I've literally had no coffee dye paper for months. And now I've got a ton. I'm so happy. So now I have coffee dye paper to put in this journal. So, okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is we have to take our book apart, and I am gonna grab my pliers because I will probably need them. And I'm gonna stand up to do this part because I need a little leverage. I'm just gonna we've gotta break this off from the spine. There's two staples that are holding this together. So what I'm gonna do is just put it against my work surface, and I'm just gonna kind of pull. This one's being kind of tough. Okay, hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, just gonna grab a butter knife here. And I am going to open this up. There's two signatures in here, so I'm gonna find the middle. That should be the middle. Yep. Okay, and I'm just gonna put my butter knife in here. See, I can see where the staple is through the foil. And I'm just gonna kind of wiggle that. Just kind of wiggle it apart a little bit. This might be a video of you just watching me struggle to get the book apart. There we go. I could hear that staple pop up. If I can get this, there we go. I felt that one give way. There we go. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of straighten these staples out a little so that I can pull my signatures off without ripping them. There we go. And I'm just going to lift these signatures off the staples that I've straightened out. There we go. There's one. I can feel this is kind of glued, so I'm just going to separate that glue. Just being careful, I don't want to tear things up. There we go. There we go. want to separate the glue. There, so we've got our 2 signatures out. Now I want to take these staples out just for safety purposes here. And I'm going to kind of push them through the cover. I'm just going to grab them with my pliers. And give them a push. And I can see that it's come up here. So I'm just going to get my knife underneath it like that and pull it off. Okay, I'm going to do the same to the other one. That one doesn't want to push through. There we go. There we go. Okay, got the staples out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the 2 pieces out along the edge of the chipboard. Not cutting the chipboard, but just cutting the paper and just kind of cutting them away from each other. Okay, so there's our front cover. Then I'm just going to cut off this paper here. Okay, now if you look on YouTube and you search Little Golden Books, you're going to see that there's a lot of different ways of doing this. Okay, and it depends on which way you want to go. And I'll tell you how I like to do mine. And it's even a little bit different than how I used to do mine. So even on my channel, there's going to be a couple different varieties of how to do this. But, you know, just like any of us, our styles and ways of doing things change over the years. Okay, so I have my front and my back cover. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put our signatures aside for right now because we won't need those until we put our signatures together. We're going to just, in this video, we're just going to do the cover. Okay, so let me show you what I have out that I've prepared. What I'm going to do, a lot of people, what they do is they take this little bendy part here where it allows the book to open to read it. A lot of people cut that off. I'm going to leave mine, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to, when I put my pages in my journal, I want the whole of my page to be able to go in without having to fold the pages over to make it fit. So I'm leaving this part. I want this to be the actual size of my full cover. But because I want that, this is very bendy now because the book has been used, okay? So we need to strengthen that. So what I've got first, and I've measured the height of my book. A lot of times these will be 7 7/8 inches tall, 7 3/4 tall. I've measured my book and it's exactly 8 inches tall, okay? So what I've done is I've cut out 2 lightweight chipboard strips that are 3/4 of an inch wide. And it's 3/4 of an inch wide because it will cover from the edge of my spine, well, not to the edge, I should have made it an inch to do that, but it's going to cover this part where it bends here, and I'm going to glue it onto the back so that when I put that on here and glue it on, my cover's not going to bend anymore, okay, right at this spot. So I've got 2 pieces that I'm gonna just put over that little scored area. Okay, so I'm gonna do that first. And this is lightweight chipboard. This is like cereal box, okay? So I'm just gonna take my glue and I'm first gonna glue these down. And that's, again, just to strengthen our cover so that that scored area at the spine won't bend. And it doesn't matter if you cover these or not because you won't see them. Okay, and I'm just gonna lay this over that scored area. And it looks like I cut these a little bit short, but that's okay. I'm just gonna center it. It's got a little bit of space on the bottom and the top, but it's minimal. And again, all I'm looking to do is just make that part of our spine where now, because that piece is here, this will not bend, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing to this side. So now we've got the full size of our cover here. Let me turn this around so I can see it really well. Just over that scored area. That one fits better. I don't know why the other one was a little off, but that's okay. But you're not even gonna see this, and it's thin enough that you're not gonna even notice it once we put our fabric spine on. Okay, there. And now our back cover doesn't bend either. Okay, so we have our full size cover to work with now. So now what I have here is I've got medium weight chipboard. Okay, this medium weight chipboard is the width, the same kind of width of the chipboard that is on the cover. It's in fact the exact width. Now, if you need to glue, if you don't have medium weight chipboard, you can glue layers of cereal box together until you get it the same thickness as the chipboard of the cover of your book. But I happen to have this, so I'm going to use it. So I made this 8 inches tall, which is the height of my book. Measure your book though, because they're all different. So I've made it 8 inches tall, which is the height of my book, and I'm doing a 2-inch spine. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my pieces out. I'm going to put my pin in my glue because I do not need this anymore. Okay. I'm laying my pieces of my book out, and I'm only going to want a gap. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I have any. Well, I thought I did. Oh, I do. Here we go. No, I don't. I was looking to see if I had any Tyvek, and I thought I did. But I guess I don't. Well, that's a bummer. Okay. All right, well, that's okay. I'm gonna lay these out, leaving a little bit of a gap in between because I need to see how wide I need to cut my fabric. I've chosen this fabric for my spine. So I definitely want my fabric to go over this piece of chipboard here. So we can hide it. So I need to cut it about right here. I'm just gonna take my scissors and snip. Sorry if I'm in the way. Just like that, and I'm gonna rip it. Okay. And that is gonna cover all of that. Okay, and then I'm going to take a second piece and I'm going to cut it the same width. Put this here. I'm just going to measure. I'm going to take a little snip. And then I'm going to rip. Okay, and this is a scrap, and I'll just put this with the bin that I've got going for this project, because we can use that for a fabric flip or whatever. Kind of remove my strings here. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to lay my fabric down, which does not have a direction. If yours has a direction, pay attention to that, okay? I'm just going to lay my fabric down. And I'm going to glue my spine, centering it, right? Centering it right in the middle here, width to width and top to bottom. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I need a drink. Hold on just a second. Okay. So I'm just going to put glue on my spine here. Just using Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to be generous, okay? I want to make sure that my glue is getting edge to edge. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue my spine down. About here. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to spread my glue out using my little spreader here. Okay. All right. Oops. All right, there we go. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my book and I can kind of see where this is, and I'm gonna go just past it. I can see where it is if I tilt my book. And I'm just going to put glue all over. Especially along the edges. Making sure I'm right side up. And I'm going to match this up, leaving just maybe 1/8 of an inch gap. I mean small, maybe not even 1/8 of an inch. And carefully turn it over. And it looks like I'm seeing some of my Fabri-Tac through the fabric, and that's kind of a bummer. But we can always use lace to cover that up. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to do the same thing to the cover. I'm just tilting this to see where my chipboard that I laid in is, and I'm just going just beyond it. And again, I'm gonna lay this in, leaving a slate gap. Like I said, probably not even 1/8 of an inch here. Just enough so that the book can fold closed like that, okay? I'm hoping as that Fabri-Tac dries, you won't be able to see it. And it is covering up some of the title, but that's okay. It's still cute. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of wondering if my art glitter glue will hold this kind of fabric. And I'm kind of wondering if I use that, if it's will do better for me as far as showing through. I'm gonna fold this up. I'm just gluing where the fabric is gonna hit. Or where I'm kind of guessing that it'll hit. We'll see how this does. Because I know this lightweight cotton, that the art glitter glue will hold it. And I'm just gonna fold that over, just like that. And I'm gonna press that into the glue, just like that. And I'm gonna pressing to where it goes kind of over, you know, it's not just laying on top, that it's kind of hugging the curves, the edges of this piece that I laid in. Yeah, see, you can't see that like you can the Fabri-Tac. Okay, just making sure that's folding well. Some places where I need to put some glue here, so I'm going to do that. I didn't quite go up far enough. It's just a process. You just have to take your time with it. I mean, you want your journal to turn out nice, so you just want to take your time with it to get it right. And now I can see the fabric's not buckling anywhere when I close it. Okay. So I'm gonna do this side now. So this time I think I'll fold up and see where my fabric hits. So right about here. So how are y'all doing? I hope you guys enjoyed the card series. I sure enjoyed doing that with you guys. I got some great comments about it. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I got lots of requests to do another non-Christmas version. So we can do that. I'm actually fairly low on like birthday cards and stuff in my stash. So once Christmas in July is over, I really need to make some birthday cards. Okay, I'm just smoothing this in, just with my fingers. Again, I'm gonna make sure that I'm kind of getting it around the little ledges of that thin chipboard that I put on. And that art glitter glue grabs super fast. So I'm just gonna fold this up and make sure nothing's buckling. Nope, it's all laying in. I got enough glue on it that time. And so that's what we look like. And I can see some of the, we'll see if the Fabri-Tac kind of stains go away once we, once it dries. I can see that some of it is, like this was a lot darker. So we'll see how it looks once it's dry tomorrow. And anywhere we've got stains like this, I can always put lace right there. Oh, that looks really cute. That's a cute spine. Okay. So now what I did was I cut this piece so that we can kind of put this over the inside. So I want to cut this to the length of the book. So I'm just going to line this up to the top edge like that. And then I'm just going to cut it. I'll do a little snip right there, and I'll just tear it and put this with my scraps. These would be great like tag toppers. Like if we cut those in strips and like topped a little tag with it like that, that'd be cute. Okay, get my strings off here. So what I'm going to do is kind of take this a section at a time, because I think I'm going to use the art glitter glue. It did really well, and it didn't stain the fabric like the art glitter glue did. If this was any other kind of a material, I wouldn't really trust the art glitter glue, but I know from other crafting I've done on tags and journaling cards that the art glitter glue holds that cotton fabric really well. Oh, that looks really cute. I'm so excited about this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I've cut this to where it just goes top to bottom here. So it should just lay in just like this. And I'm just going to glue it in parts. So I'm just going to I'm going to start up here. So I'm just going to go to like right about here, put some good amount of the glue on. Even into this gap here. We want it all over. It takes so much longer with that fine tip. That's okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna lay this in, just like this, on the edge. And I'm just gonna lay it into the glue. Can you turn your music off, please? Hello, thank you, doing a video.
Sorry, I didn't know.
I know you didn't.
You need to tell me.
It's fine. Okay, and I'm just gonna press it down into the glue.
You might want to cut that for copyright.
Okay. I'll just press that down really good. I'm gonna make sure that I'm okay. And then I'm gonna turn it around and flip it up. And then I'm just gonna keep going. And now we'll just press that section down. Make sure that it's pressed down really good on the sides of those pieces of chipboard that I laid down. Okay. And I'm just bending the covers, making sure that it's going into the spine too. Okay. We'll do the next area. I think I'll go all the way down to the fabric on this one. It's taking longer than using the Fabri-Tac definitely, but it's also giving me a better result as far as not getting stains on my fabric. So my hand's getting tired though. Okay, lay that in. Looking good. Okay, last part. Just this little part here with the fabric. Okay, lay that in. Looks so much better than the Fabri-Tac did. I'm not sure, you probably can't tell, but I can tell from being up close to it. Okay, so we have our spine all covered. And I think it's really cute. I know that it does cover up some of the front cover and everything's folding good. Nothing's getting stuck. And there's a little bit of the raw edge poking out here at the bottom and I like that. So I'm gonna leave that. And you can see some of the raw edge here at the top too. I'm happy with that. That looks really good. And then we'll probably put some lace here, and we're definitely gonna decorate that up. And that's what we have. So there's our cover of our journal. And now our pages are going to be able to fit in here, and they might hang over a little, but I do have something I'm going to do to kind of fix that a little bit. So I'm not really going to worry about that. So we'll get to that when we put the signatures together. So that's what we have tonight, and tomorrow what we'll do is we'll start working on the signatures. And we're also going to put buttons on the spine as we sew the signatures in. So that'll be really cute too. So I hope you guys follow along with me here on this new Christmas project that we're doing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.